Hi guys, I'm Vishwaraj Gupta. I'm a data engineer. Today I'm making a very small video, just a direct video which will connect your Tableau dashboard with S3 bucket tables. So sometimes we have a lot of tables in S3 buckets and we think that rather than going with Redshift or RDS or Aurora, if we can just query directly from S3 buckets. Yes, we can do that, but in that case, we will still need Amazon Athena. I will explain it how. So first of all, we need few things before we start to grab data from S3 buckets. We will create one S3 bucket, and that would be our source bucket. And we will need another bucket where the query output will be stored. And then, so these are the basic details. I'm assuming that you know all these details, how to create S3 bucket and how to create an IAM user to get credentials like access key and secret access key. And then we will need JDBC driver, which we need to save in the Tableau folder where your Tableau is located. I can show you where you can download JDBC driver from. You can download your JDBC driver from here. And then you need Athena endpoint, the server name. Another prerequisite is Athena endpoint. So this is a server name. So usually it is always like Athena dot useast1.amazonaws.com. So when I have mentioned US East 1, it can be different. It depends which area you are into. So it could be any other US area or any location. But the first and last word, what I've mentioned at Athena dot whatever region you have. So guys, as you can see in the first architecture, Amazon Athena and S3 both are communicating with each other, but there is a minor role of AWS Glue, or you can do it manually as well, as I've mentioned in the second architecture. And then via Athena, it goes to Tableau dashboards. So why do we need Glue? Glue is just reading the schema metadata from S3 tables and then to collect the column headers and their data types. So there will be minor glue cost involved in this since you are not doing any ETL activity using glue in this. Glue is just required to read the schema, just to read your column headers. If you can do it manually, if you don't have many columns in your table, then you can do it manually. I would suggest it's fine if you want to do it manually because there is an option, there is a feature bulk add columns in Athena and you can edit their data types. There are different data types, date, string, integer. So it depends on you. So it is an option, but usually between Amazon S3 and Tableau, you just need Amazon Athena. So why do we need Athena? Let me go to another slide before I'll show you connect to Tableau part. So just to mention few key points, Athena is serverless with no setup cost. It direct it directly points to S3 and start querying. So no cluster required, like we create clusters or instance in Redshift or EMR. You don't need that, so there is no extra cost. You just have to pay what you store, what you save in S3 buckets. So there are normal charges as usual. So there is nothing that you do in Amazon Athena. There is no setup cost. So which is a good thing. So you are just as if you see the cost is just of your Amazon S3 bucket and the license what you have in Tableau. That's it. So this is basically perfect for infrequent queries since you have to pay $5 per terabyte scan when you query and minimum charge per query will be charged always, which will be 10 MB. So if you do a minimum query, for example, if your table is very small or if it is like nothing like less than 20 MB or less than 5 MB, it will still cost you 10 MB. But there are no charges for DDL queries like create, alter, or if you want to drop table. But there is a way that you can reduce your cost by compressing it. So how can you compress it? So by compressing, I mean if you have ABC table in S3 bucket and it has three columns and each column is of 1 TB. So the whole table makes it 3 TB table. But Athena query to grab only one column information. For example, you just select from a table that I just need select employees from table ABC. It will still check whole table. So Athena is still scanning the whole table, which is of 3 TB. So the cost would be still $5 into 3 TB, which will be $15. But if we compress the ABC table using gzip and makes it 2 TB, then our cost would be $5 into 2 TB. Since we have used gzip, you can use gzip using Python or other softwares. You can do that, and that will save a lot of money if you are directly communicating with S3 bucket. Plus, if you can use gzip plus columnar table compression, which is like what you get in Redshift, and columnar table compression is nothing but it's a Parquet format, as you have heard, Apache format, Apache Parquet, Spark. So then our cost could come to $5 into 1 TB, $10. It saves around 30 to 90% cost. You can use different softwares, like I use Python, to create gzip and Parquet format compression. So columnar compression helps Athena to grab that particular column information only, which was queried, and ignoring other two columns of ABC table. So guys, this is the console of Amazon Athena, and this will be the normal layout. I have created some tables while I was doing some testing. But to start with, first thing you have to do is go to settings, and you have to mention your output location. The second bucket, which I had mentioned in the prerequisite, that you need two buckets. So second bucket was the output location. So you just need to simply paste the path here, or you can just mention it. Always remember backslash here and just save it. So that was the output location. And now you have to connect to the data. So guys, as you can see, Athena queries data where it is. Data is not loaded or moved. So just simply click on this one, AWS Glue Data Catalog, which will be automatically selected. Press next. So these are the two options which I had mentioned in the presentation, that either you use Glue or you can, add a table and enter schema information manually. So if you select glue, then you have to create a glue crawler, which will crawls into your table, and then it will automatically grab the headers and data types. And if you want to make any changes, then also you can do it there as well. But since I have 5 or 6 columns, then I would suggest you should just enter, schema information manually. So continue to add table. Here you have to mention a database. So there was already database located in my Athena console. So I'll just go with testing POC. So as you see, sample DB and default, these two are default databases which are located in Athena console. But I have created this testing POC. Simply name the table. So let me create it. So I'll take testing POC and I'll say testing 9. Okay, so here you have to mention the first bucket, the input bucket, the source bucket, which I had told you in the presentation. So it's simply S3 and bucket name POC S3 Athena. So source bucket, that's it. Then you have to click next. I'll select CSV format, and now see, so these are the like columns section where you can add bulk add columns. So it's simply, for example, your first column is ID space integer, then you have name, just mention string, then you have salary integer, that's it. And once you click add on this one, it will automatically column name ID integer name string. So you can see salary integer. You can always change the data type. As you can see, there are a lot of options: date, timestamp, decimal, float, integer. So it's up to you, whatever data type you want. And then you create next, and then you don't need this one partition. Partition is just when there are a lot of partitions in the data type. So guys, I won't go and create table since I already have a table. So guys, once you have gone through those steps, now your data is there. Just wait once the table is uploaded there. And once it is uploaded, you'll see your table is here. And if you click here, you can see all the column names. So it depends how many columns you have, and you can cross check if any column has been missed or anything. And once it is here, you can simply preview the table, show properties, or if you want to delete your table, but I would suggest you should select whole data so that it is stored in the output storage. So just simply run this query, and as you will see, the data which was there, it will reflect here. So whatever query you make here, it is saved as I had mentioned in settings, it is here. So this query location which we need, as I had mentioned in my presentation, we will need here S3 staging. As I had mentioned, we will need that query output in S3 staging category. So the server was same Athena endpoint, which was athena.yourregionname.amazonaws.com. Your S3 staging directory is the output storage, which I had shown you. I can show you again. It is mentioned here, the output query. Guys, access key ID and secret access key. Once you'll create your IAM user role, you can access your key and secret access key. So these are four things which you will need to connect to Tableau, and make sure your JDBC driver is there inside Tableau folder, because without that you won't be able to connect to Athena. And you can see 443 in the port section. This comes automatically, so you don't have to worry about that. But you can always use 443 if you by mistake delete it or something, but it's always same 443. So guys, this is it. It's just a small video just to show you how you can connect. I'm sure whosoever is watching this, they will know how to create buckets, how to create these IAM user details, how to grab the Athena endpoint, what is glue and all. But in my next videos, I would like to show you how you can create clusters in Redshift, how you can create instances in RDS, and how can you create um, you know uh, and how can you move your files from S3 buckets to Athena or to Redshift, or how can you do some automations using Python. So if you guys know Python, it is very good, but I will show you quick way how to automate all these things without even going to AWS console. Guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I would appreciate if you can like this video if you have liked it. Thank you.